If the majority in England want Sharia law, will you move out?
If Sharia
will
law,
you move out?
If Sharia law is in this country, I'd move.
Will you? Yeah, you'll move. So you don't believe in democracy? His opening statement was a lie that I never preach about Islam. I can show you several videos to expose you as a liar, like the way Paul was. By the way, why does Paul curse Jesus?
Why are you coming in with a question? I was talking to this lady.
I'm talking to you.
I see how you're trying to start this.
I see how you try to actually impose your Bible.
I'm not imposing
or
nothing on
okay,
her.
so why are you scared to speak about your religion then?
Why are you scared to speak about your religion?
Yeah, you know what? You said I don't speak about Islam. When did you speak about Christianity? When was the last time you spoke about Christianity?
Every week here.
Yeah, go on. Let's start with that. Come on.
Why are you so upset?
About what?
I get this like very tense energy from
That's
you.
your insecurity speaking.
It's not my insecurity.
It is indeed.
Basically, I'll explain it.
Yeah.
There's 3 hadiths that it shows the Prophet. One of them is about
killing apostates.
He got permission from God to kill someone who was slandering him.
You maligned him.
Or someone else, and then another one about.
To be honest, you know, he doesn't know the context.
Let her explain.
Yeah, she did explain. He doesn't know the context. So what he does is he looks at the face value of a hadith and he says that is it. In the time of Prophet, peace be upon him, there were laws for both the Muslims and the non-Muslims, and these laws were there for everyone, including the Jews, the Christians, the Muslims, all of them.
Have you looked at the false?
Yeah. For example, you know, apostasy. In the Bible, there is apostasy law, which is to kill the apostate. Okay? That is clearly mentioned in Deuteronomy, which is from his God, but he won't bring that up. You know why? He goes, look, he goes, shut that time.
Let me talk about it then.
No, let me finish. Don't interrupt. Don't interrupt. I know you're insecure, so let me expose you from the Bible. In the Bible, there is apostasy law. Of course you're going to walk away, because when the Bible is brought up, they run away.
He's actually being disrespectful.
How am I being disrespectful? You haven't let me finish. I haven't finished yet.
She's saying calm down.
Yeah.
Calm down. Okay. So the point is, he was telling me about 3 of them. I said to him, okay, but this is what all Christians do here. They look for little faults and sometimes they change the words.
In fact, everything that they show us, it is in the Bible.
He said you do the same thing.
Yeah, everything they show us from the hadith, it's actually in the Bible, but they will never ever condemn anything in the Bible.
Wasn't I fair when I said to you, if you don't know, you can get any Muslim that you want and bring them here?
Yeah,
he came first, and then he came, but
here comes the victim card. Watch it. Go on. Let's see the victim. Here, the victim card.
Right energy, right? He's talking about Deuteronomy, right?
Yes.
That is in the Bible, but that's Jewish tradition. Now we can talk about that.
Is it from your God?
It is.
Okay. So do you agree or do?
But we can talk about that.
Do you condemn the apostasy law of stoning? You condemn it.
But we have to go through.
Wait. Do you condemn the apostasy law?
We have to go through the text.
It's in Deuteronomy. In his Bible, it says anyone who converts from the family, yes, they should be put to death. Now he said he condemns it. You know, he just said he condemns it. Did you notice that? He condemns his own God's word.
Another religion to worship other gods.
It's not another religion. Same God.
Them to worship other gods.
Yes, that's called apostasy.
What I would say first and foremost, right?
So do you condemn it? Let's start with that. Do you condemn it?
Let's start with this.
What?
Can you just be quiet for 1 second?
Yeah,
Let's
I can.
start with this.
Yeah, but you need to.
No,
you need to answer the question.
For 1 second.
Yeah.
You can't come in here and ask me a question.
I can.
I was having a conversation with her.
I can.
So if you want to come in the conversation,
no, there's no such law. No such rule. You said 1 second. Your second is over. No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
The reason you brought up this hadith is to show that Islam is bad. But the thing is, you'll find something worse in the Bible. According to them, they can't be forgiven without the human sacrifice of Jesus. Okay? Without the human sacrifice. Now, the only people who actually believed in human sacrifice for atonement of sin were the pagans. So they have actually gone to paganism from Abraham, Moses, Jesus. All of this, they worship one God. I'm talking to her, not to you.
Okay.
Of course you're going to walk away because you have nothing to say.
You're not talking to me.
When I talk to you, you change the topic.
What do you mean? There was a topic already before you came in.
Yes, and I'm addressing the topic.
How are you addressing?
Did he not show you the hadith about apostasy? And I responded to apostasy in the Bible. He said he condemns it in the Bible, which means he condemns his own God.
I go through the text. Didn't I go through the text with you? And didn't I say to you that you can bring any Muslim here, including him, including Mansur? Right? So I'm happy to discuss the text with him. There's no problem with that. But he's just come in, right? He's jumped straight into Deuteronomy. He hasn't brought up the text.
That's because you condemn it.
And wait, he hasn't brought up the text. I never said I condemned it.
Oh, you did? So you're okay with it then? You're okay with apostasy?
I reserve my judgment until we speak about this properly.
You are okay with killing of apostates?
Can you just be quiet?
No, you don't tell me what to do.
All right,
If you want to walk away, walk away. Anytime.
So
Do you know what?
Okay, because that is your exit.
I gave.
Let me show you from the Bible about the apostasy. Yeah.
I'm going to walk away.
Yeah, run away, boy.
Talk about,
Run away, boy. No problem.
Hadiths, right? It would have been nice if he addressed those hadiths first, and then we went to this. I'm happy to do that.
Are you sure?
If you agree with that, we'll do it right now.
Okay, so you're not going to run away in the middle of the discussion when I bring up the Bible, will you?
That's fine.
Okay, you bring one hadith, I'll bring a Bible verse. How about that? No, three will take a long time. One at a time.
There's no rush.
There's no rush? Really? Let's see. Okay, so if there's no rush, let's do one hadith, one Bible verse.
Okay.
How about that? Is that fair?
Let's do it.
Good?
That's fine.
Let's bring it on. Come on.
This is interesting now.
Okay, yeah. Come down then. We're not hearing.
Are you Christian?
Who said that?
Are you Christian?
I am.
I'm saying to you,
You're a nobody.
you know it.
Hadith rejectors are nobodies.
Hadith written by after 600 years.
So when I was
No, it
South
wasn't.
America.
It wasn't.
From South America.
Yes, I am.
They're both Christians.
So when I was talking to the lady, this is the point that I made, right?
Go on.
That Muhammad had his people murdered by his followers, including apostates.
No, read it as it is. Without you putting your own words in it. Read it as it is in the hadith. Because what he does is he puts his own spin. This is what Christians do. They love to put the spin. No, we read it as it is.
Okay, without
in the
spin.
Bible.
Okay, without spin.
Yeah, no
Okay.
spins.
No, you as well.
Keep your spin to yourself.
You're the one to spin. I'm telling you.
God bless you, bro. We read in Sahih al-Bukhari 6922. Narrated. Do you want to get it out?
Yeah, you read it. Read it.
You can't get it out because remember last time you didn't trust that I was reading it, the original source.
Read it, I'm listening.
Yeah, I want her to be ready. This is for her, it's not really for you.
I thought it was for me until now. Bring anyone you want. Now all of a sudden it's not about me.
Remember, we're discussing what was discussed before you.
Dude, it's okay. Hold your insecurities. Yeah, go read it.
Sahih al-Bukhari 6922, yeah?
Yeah.
Narrated Ikrimah, some atheists were brought to Ali and he burnt them. The news of this event reached Ibn Abbas, who said, "If I had been in his place, I would not have burnt them, as Allah's messenger forbade it, saying, 'Do not punish anybody with Allah's punishment, fire.' I would have killed them according to the statement of Allah's messenger. Whoever changed his Islamic religion, then kill him."
Okay.
What's your point?
That if you change your Islamic religion, you
Yeah.
are worthy of death.
Right. That's apostasy.
Did you know that
Is
beforehand?
that apostasy
Did
for
you know
you?
that beforehand?
yeah.
Is that
Okay, so
apostasy
Asking
for
the
you?
lady a question. Did you know that
I
beforehand?
think I knew something like that.
So you wasn't sure.
Yeah.
So I'm just making it
Okay,
clear.
so-
I'm educating her.
That's fine.
On things
It's
that
about apostasy. We got it. No need to keep repeating.
do you accept that?
Okay, me
Do you
first
accept
and
that
foremost,
statement? Let me
You
ask
kill
you the
someone.
question.
can
now.
I answer the way I want
No,
without
let me ask
imposing
you the
and
question
pointing
now.
fingers?
Okay, I won't point
Right,
fingers.
calm down
Can I
first.
ask you the question
Calm
now?
down, you need to
Can
calm
I ask
down.
you the
Yeah,
question
go
now?
on.
Do you approve of that or do you condemn it?
Okay, now I'll answer the way I want.
yes or
Okay,
no?
no, it's not a yes or no. Don't tell me how to answer.
No, that's fine.
Don't tell me how to answer. Yeah, look at the camera. See how stupid you look. You want to go away? Walk.
He wants
Because I will
me-
answer the
he
way I
wants
want.
me to walk
Because
away.
in a-
He actually wants me to walk away.
Just like in Deuteronomy, in the time of Moses, when apostasy was actually punished by death, just like in the Hadith here.
Looking for something in
Yeah.
the Bible.
No, it doesn't matter. It's in Deuteronomy. We got lots of them. Don't
to bring
worry.
it up,
Okay.
the text.
Yeah, of course I'll bring
I
up the
want to
text.
answer my
Okay.
question.
So
Do
your
you
question,
condemn this or not?
I will answer the way I want, not yes and no. Okay. If you got a problem with that, walk.
See,
Yeah, but you
I'm happy you telling me to walk. Right?
Because you're imposing conditions.
Let's work
Okay,
on
so
He wants
in
to walk.
in Islamic
Let's
country,
work on
look,
answer.
under
Don't ask in the flesh.
Sharia, if this is the case, and by the way, there is a due process. It's not like somebody leaves Islam and straight away you chop the head off. No, there's actually a due process. They go to the court, they establish what exactly is the problem, and then also they were given time to reflect on it. So it's not straight away like the way you think it is.
But they still
And this is
apply now.
hold on, stop interrupting.
Sorry about that.
In Islamic Sharia, if you live under that, which means you have to agree by the law, just like in America. If you commit treason, then it is the death penalty there. So if you want to live in America, then you have to abide by the laws of America, right? Just because, by the way, this is the 21st century, they still get death penalty. Yes? Now, in the case of Deuteronomy, like in the time of Moses,
Why did Ali burn them?
what Ali radiallahu did, actually it is a companion who's condemning it. Have you noticed that in the
But he
hadith?
says he would have killed him in another way, not by Allah's
Yeah, not by
fire.
burning.
So still would have
Not by
killed,
burning.
So
Yes.
how, so how then?
By the
How
way,
did Allah
did I say it's not that penalty? It is that penalty for
you-
apostates.
Okay,
But
so
in a Sharia, where the country is following the Sharia law. Not in Britain or somewhere else where they don't have Sharia.
So you support the killing of all apostates then?
In the Sharia, done through the due process, yes.
In the Sharia.
Yes.
And do you want Sharia law to be...
No, don't ask me.
Do you want the Sharia law to be all over the world?
Depends if they want it.
Do you want that? What would you like? Why are you here?
Okay.
You're here because you want to spread Islam, right?
Okay, let me ask you this. If the people...
you want Sharia law here. So
See, did you notice that? I answered the hadith, now he's going to another topic. Now my turn to ask about the hadith.
Condemn the Muslims that are killing the Christians in
Stop
Syria.
interrupting.
The Muslims that are killing the Christians in Nigeria. The Muslims that are raping, rampaging wild.
Stop interrupting. I don't want to talk to you.
The Christians.
Okay, so what I'm saying is that if the Deuteronomy says the same thing, would you? If Deuteronomy says the same thing, would you consent?
Are you going to condemn Mansur?
Somebody call the police. This guy's harassing. Call the police on this guy.
Calm it down, calm it down, calm it down.
I don't want to talk to you.
Calm it down, please.
Get the message.
Let's calm it down, calm it down.
So you agree with that one as well?
Will you condemn
with apostasy killing according to Sharia law?
Okay. He said to bring the verse in the Bible. Here's a passage in the Bible. In the Bible, it says here.
What is the question?
Brother, it's the same. I'm showing. Stop interrupting. I'm showing the apostasy. They'll come there as well. Don't worry. Yeah.
If you want to agree with that.
So give us.
Anyone who is Muslim and convert to
Yeah.
Well, she doesn't agree. Thank you.
The police.
That's the difference between Christianity.
That's good. Let's move. If they can't, then they're harassing. All right, guys, they're gone. Let's come back here. I was going to show the apostasy law in the Bible. Okay, go on. By the way, you asked the question, do I want Sharia here? If the majority of the people agree, then yes.
No. Do you want to hear or not?
I just said, if the majority agree, yes.
Without their agreement, what do you want?
It's all based on, if you come in any country, if you got only a minority who want a certain law, obviously not going to work. It's common sense.
I'm asking you what
it's common sense.
No,
I just told you, conditionally.
What do you want?
Not the way you want to answer. I'll answer the way I want.
If I don't want Sharia law, right?
Then you can move to another country.
Well, I'm in England. There's no Sharia law.
Like I said, in England, okay, so in England, if the majority want, will you move out?
Do you want Sharia law?
Answer the question. If the majority in England want Sharia law, will you move out? Will you move out?
If Sharia law is in this country, I'd move.
Will you? Yeah, you'll move. So you don't believe in democracy?
I would move.
Do you believe in democracy?
I'm a Christian. I'm a Christian.
Okay, wow.
If I'm living in
how does a Christian rule?
Law,
do you know according to
favor?
Based on Christianity, you have to accept the law of the land. Do you know that? In the Bible, you have to accept Sharia.
So Christians can't travel?
No. Jesus said, according to your book, Jesus said
scatter when there's persecution.
No. Yeah, if there's persecution. So if there's no persecution, you're okay. Do you know how many Christians lived under Sharia and they were okay with it? How many Jews lived under Sharia and they were okay with it?
Yes.
Maimonides, one of the greatest scholars of the Jews, he lived in a Muslim country for many decades. And the Muslims gave them, Muslims actually honored them and respected them for their knowledge. I've already answered you. I don't want to answer the way you want, I'll answer the way I want. You said you don't believe in democracy. You don't believe in the law. Oh, do you? Okay, so let me ask you once again. If the majority want Sharia, are you okay with it or not?
If they want Sharia and that's what is implemented, I will move.
So you're not okay with democracy? Because democracy is what? If the majority agree, then that is democracy.
So you're saying I have to stay in this country?
So you are against democracy?
Are you against democracy?
I'm not actually. I'm not.
Were you born and bred?
I'm not. Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, were you? Were you? Okay, so you're still against, even though you're born and bred here, you're still against democracy.
You must be against democracy.
This is what happens, you know, as soon as Sharia comes, democracy goes out the window.
Where he was before he came to here. So why didn't you agree what was going on there?
I can go anywhere in the world. Who are you?
I can as well.
When did I say you can't?
So why am I against?
He's lost the plot already. I said you don't believe in democracy because
I don't believe in democracy.
Because according to you, if the majority agree, yes, good. If the majority agree, then you said you are not okay with it. Am I right?
I'm not okay with that.
Thank you. So that's not democracy. Because the democracy is by the majority, and whatever the majority agree, then they have to.
A democracy respects the decision. I'd respect the decision.
Okay.
I would just move.
So you're okay with respecting Sharia?
I'd respect the decision.
You're okay with respecting Sharia then?
If it was implemented,
yeah,
and everyone had a vote,
yes,
just like Brexit.
No. Sharia is not based on votes.
Just like Brexit. What were you talking about?
Sharia is not based on votes like the way you think.
Majority.
Yes, the majority. You need to know how the Sharia is elected, how the Caliph is elected. You obviously are ignorant of it.
Okay.
So you think democracy is equal to Sharia? Look at this guy. He's not the same. You know why the Sharia is better? Right. I'll tell you why. Because in a Sharia, how the voting is conducted, the representatives of the people are the ones who vote, not any Tom, Dick, and Harry who has no idea about whom they're voting for. Sometimes what happens in a democracy, they give you money and they will vote for the candidate who paid them. So this is called bribery. And in a democracy, that falls apart. Because the thing is that the one who has the most money, they can bribe people and get them into electing the leader who's the richest maybe, or the most powerful. Unfortunately, you can have corrupt leaders, and that's the reason today we see corrupt leaders who take us to war. In England, for example, when Britain went to war, during the Gulf War, this was, the democracy did not agree with it. The majority of people were against the war. But what did the leaders who were elected do? They went to war anyway, on a false pretext of some dodgy dossier that there are weapons of mass destruction. A million people died. A million people died. You stop threatening me about walking away. Walk away if you have to. Who the hell are you, man? So let me read. I knew you will not keep his word. I said I'm going to read Deuteronomy from the Bible.
You're having a monologue.
You asked me a question, I'll answer the way I want. I told you already. Okay, so let's discuss apostasy. I knew you'd go to run away when the Bible came out. Okay, so this guy had a huge problem with apostasy, which means the killing of people who leave the religion. It is actually, before even it was in the Hadith, it was in the Bible, in the Old Testament, in Deuteronomy chapter 13, it says, if your very own brothers, or your son or daughter, or wife you love, or your closest friend secretly entice you, saying, let us go and worship other gods. Okay? Then what you do is, by the way, gods here that neither you nor your ancestors have known, gods of the people around you, whether near or far, from one end of the land to the other, do not yield to them or listen to them. Show them no pity. Remember, this is the apostasy law that I'm now going to quote from the Bible. It says here, you must certainly do not spare them or shield them. You must certainly put them to death. Your hand must be the first in putting them to death, and then the hands of all the people. Stone them to death, because they tried to turn you away from the Lord your God, who brought you out of the wilderness, out of Egypt and out of the land of slavery. Then all Israel will hear and be afraid, and no one among you will do such an evil therein again. This is Deuteronomy chapter 13, verse number 6 to 11. Clearly apostasy in the Bible. He said he's not going to condemn what's in the Bible. Why? Because it's from his God. If it's in the Hadith, he will condemn it, but the exact same, in fact even worse than that. Even worse, because there's no mention of any due process here. There is no going to the judge, no understanding of his mental state or his physical state, none of that. Just stone them to death. That is stone cold from the Bible in Deuteronomy, which is one of the first 5 books from Moses according to the Christians. And this is the law of apostasy in the Bible. If you condemn the Hadith, then condemn your God, who actually in a way revealed this particular passage. It is from your God, the same God you worship, whether as a Trinity or not. It's the same God that you worship in Christianity, because the Old Testament is actually the same God. Old Testament God is different?
No.
Is it different?
The Allah of Islam is the
No. I'm saying Old Testament, New Testament.
The God of
okay,
the
go away.
God of the heaven
Get
and
away from here.
is the God of the...
Now we got the shayateen here. Okay?
God
they don't actually believe in the Bible. By the way, stop coming in my space.
Jacob.
Yes, God of Jesus. God of Jesus.
Is the God.
And God of Jesus said, according to the Old Testament, stone the apostates. Okay, so anyway, Jazakallah khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Hey, go and worship your cow.